Oh,
Beep, boop, beep,
very
boop,
different
beep,
on a
boop,
phone.
boop. Beep, boop,
Beep
beep,
beep
boop.
boop beep boop boop boop. Beep boop 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 beep
Beep, boop, beep,
Da,
boop.
ba,
We're
ba,
all
ba.
gay. Beep, boop,
Hi.
beep, boop. Queer, queer, queer.
So fucking gay. So fucking gay. We're all so fucking gay.
What if
It's
I
fine.
never press got it? Does it not start
Wow.
recording? What if I never
time
press
is
it?
it? The booze?
It's booze o'clock
It's-
somewhere.
It's 1:16 in the afternoon, and this is my second.
Congratulations. It's
Thanks.
like not even
Wow.
5 here, and I'm
Thanks, I
like
need it.
having to. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope things improve.
This is empty.
They
This is
won't,
empty.
but
I don't
thank
have
you.
anything.
So, hi everybody. Welcome
Oh.
to our Omnibilateral Panic live.
Live and in
Live.
person.
Live and in person.
We might as well
Tony
lie
Awards
about it all.
special. We thought we would just geek out and be theater nerds for you for a little bit. So
Yeah. We're broadcasting from Rome
we're
in
broad-
person. We all came here
We did.
from the Colosseum.
We did. I love the
Mhm.
Coliseum.
I
And then
love
we have
it.
digital backgrounds that look like our
Not a
usual
thing.
places.
Yeah. We took we went all the way to Rome to green screen our own rooms behind us.
Yep. That's
And we're actually right next to each other too.
Yeah.
but we have the audio equivalent of horse blinders so that we don't audio bleed.
But I
I'm
love
touching you
guys
both
so
with my hands.
much. Yeah. Yeah,
Just
you are.
reach across the
Shoot.
aisles.
My thing is too wide. It's gonna try and do the puppet arm.
You can show off your guns, Cameron.
Yeah, show us your guns.
There they are.
You're welcome, internet.
Oh.
Anyway, here's that theme song.
Oh, here we go. Beep boop boop, bop boop bop boop beep boop bop.
Welcome to Omnibilateral Panic, the show where three theater kids continue to force friendship after all these years.
I would like to amend it to a devised friendship to go along with the theater aesthetic today.
To go along with the theater aesthetic. A devised friendship. I mean, that's true, but
A devised
I'm
friendship
kidding.
initiative.
I adore you both so much. Thank you for doing
I
this.
adore you. Sometimes
A
I
con-
forget that you wrote the theme song, and then I hear it and I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, we should tell
Thank you.
someone.
We should tell someone.
You should
Tell my
someone.
agent, for fuck's sake.
Do you have an agent, Cameron?
No, I'm working on it.
Oh, okay.
Working on it.
Okay, we'll get you one.
As soon
great.
as you get one, I'll tell them.
Excuse me, agent.
Excuse me, did you know that Cameron wrote this theme? Let me play it for you.
Unnamed agent. let me play this shit.
Let me sing it for you. Beep, boop, beep,
Hold on,
beep,
hold on.
I do have a jazz arrangement, actually.
Oh, what?
I do.
We've never used it. That's season 2. That's season 2, baby.
That's season 2, baby.
Yeah, I
Actually,
love it.
in the
Oh,
elevator sound cue, it's
Oh,
part
Liza's
of the jazz.
here.
It's part of it. She is here. we haven't heard Liza before, but in the nerdy elevator,
Uh-huh.
the nerdy elevator one, it's actually our theme, but the jazz elevator music version.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Oh my god, I'm
Oh
learning
my
Easter
God.
eggs about my own podcast.
That's what I
Oh
like.
my god, it's a Tony's miracle.
It's a Tony's miracle.
Happy Tony.
Happy
Tony's,
Tony's, everybody.
everyone.
It is soon going to be the most sacred day of the year for theater kids, and it's going to be unprecedented because nothing is written.
Yeah,
I am so fucking excited. I was excited anyway, but now it's like, what's gonna happen? We have no
I know.
idea.
Part of me, like I'm very conflicted because there's the camp queen in me really wants to watch this dumpster fire of a Tony's presentation. but I think in solidarity, the other part of me is in solidarity with the Writers Guild, should have just fucking held off on this. Like, reach
Yeah.
your deal, get these writers paid, because otherwise we don't have a show. Everybody's like, oh, we don't, if we don't do the Tonys, nobody's going to see shows. Well, if you don't pay your writers, nobody's going to have shows. So what are we
Right, right.
doing? But
Well, and I mean, it's
you know.
even more complicated because it's like the television writers are getting hosed. Theater writers have been making it fine because they,
Yeah.
you know, the Writers Guild has been around forever. The Theater Writers Guild and the Dramatist
Yeah.
Guild have been around for forever and have
Sure.
very specific things that have always been upheld. And so, like, you know, it's just it's gross.
It's complicated.
It's
But as I said, I'm full of contradictions because I'd also love to see what sort of horror has been wrought with no writers. Like, I don't know.
and to just
Yeah.
see some of these performances again because
Sure.
it's truly a legendary season.
Or for the first time, if you're me.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of stuff. I'm coming in. I'm kind of flying blind here. I'm coming
Yeah.
in.
I love it. I can't wait. So, speaking of which, I was going to ask officially, what shows have you seen this season that are nominated?
I've seen very little. I actually don't know if Parade's been nominated, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't even know the nominations. I've seen Parade and
Yeah,
I've seen
this-
Sweeney Todd. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Cool. Tessa?
I saw oops, I'm gonna do that thing where I describe the show because I can't remember the name of it. The
Oops.
one about the brothers. It's a straight play.
Leopoldstadt?
They're what? Sorry.
Leopoldstadt?
Stadt?
Nope. Sorry. They're black, and they.
Fat Ham.
Fat Ham.
Oh, I did see Fat Ham, but no, sorry. I'm thinking of a straight play where it's just the two brothers. They're the only ones on stage. It finished up in like
so
maybe
Ain't No Mo?
January.
Between Rivers.
Nope.
So the
Maybe it's not nominated. I hope it's got to be nominated. It was so incredible. Both of the actors are nominated. I'm sure of it.
Okay.
Um,
Best actor
shoot,
for a play.
in straight plays.
Looking right now.
it's like yeah, it's about like
is it
the
Top Dog
game,
Underdog?
the street game. Top Dog Underdog. I saw
Yes.
Top Dog Underdog. I don't think it's
Oh.
nominated, maybe unless it's
I
like
think
for
it's
set
nominated
design
for
or
Best
something. But
Revival.
yeah, that is. Sorry, I'm thinking of other things I might have seen. Top Dog Underdog. I mean, one of those two have to win it. They were insane, so good. And I saw the Audra McDonald show.
Ooh, yep.
The one woman show.
So you're going to be our
I
play
saw.
expert.
Yeah,
I
it
did-
turns out I saw a lot of plays. I saw most of the Oscar Isaac Miss Maisel play at BAM. We all know the one. The Sign in Sydney Brewstein's Window.
Yes.
I saw Fat Ham, and I saw the comedy one from the UK because my friend was ADing it.
Nice.
The one that's like, oh no, Peter Pan gone wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no. That stuff.
I love
things-
that.
Me
I love
too.
that rewrite.
We need to have a play that's just called "Oh no."
Peter Pan.
Yeah,
It's
and there
called,
may be
"Oh,
others
no,
that I saw and I
Peter
just
Pan."
forget.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, if there's any others, I've just forgotten them. I'm sorry. I'll
And
You saw a
remember.
lot-
as
You
we
saw a
go.
lot. That's
You did.
fantastic.
Yeah, and there, you
Yeah,
saw
I saw
plays
pretty
'cause-
good.
because I saw
Yeah.
the two best revival nominees, Sweeney Todd and Parade, and I saw two of the best musical nominees, Kimberly Akimbo and Some Like It Hot. But that's it.
I want to see Kimberly Akimbo. I still
It's
haven't. I know it's
so
going to be
good.
insane
Oh,
post Tonys to get to see
I
it.
hope so. I hope so. But
I saw the
showing-
play
Yeah.
years ago.
Did you really?
Wow,
Amazing.
that's cool.
It was it started at South Coast Rep, which is
Oh,
What?
that makes
which is
so
not
much sense.
near me, but near enough. Could like take
That's
a
so
drive.
cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because like I read the play a couple of days ago just because I was curious about the adaptation because that's my nerdy
Yeah.
mind, and it was like, this is really interesting what they did.
Yeah.
And like I loved the
Interesting,
musical.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite things that I've ever seen ever. So
I know that's what everyone says. That's why I really want to see it.
but speaking of which, I just thought we could go through and do our best theater kid guest-spurt
yeah.
thoughts on what's going to happen. So
Let's do
in
it.
order
Yeah.
of how they were announced, Best Book of a Musical, Anne Juliet by David West Reed, Kimberly Akimbo by David Lindsay Abaire, New York, New York by David Thompson and Sharon Washington, and Shucked by Robert Horn. Oh, and Some Like It Hot by Matthew Lopez and Amber Ruffin. Those are the nominees.
Best book.
Yep, best book.
Oh, go ahead, Tessa.
No, you please.
I'm only gonna put this out there. I don't want to be, I don't want to be disrespectful of work, but I also am a bitchy theater kid. I have heard nothing but bad things about New York, New York.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, I know. But everybody everybody that's gone and seen it is like, what are we doing?
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Sure.
Um,
I think Kimberly Akimbo will probably take best book.
I've heard mixed reviews from Shucked. I've heard that it's incredibly funny but has nothing happening, and I've heard that it's terrible. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard mixed.
Some Like It Hot was wonderful, but I don't know if it. Well, and actually, Anne Juliet is such an interesting. I wish I could have seen it. Y'all know anything about that?
I know. I
don't know anything about it.
I've only heard
so
really good things.
So it is.
Yeah.
They wanted to do a. What is his name? It's Max Martin, I think. Yeah. They wanted to do a Max Martin jukebox musical, who it turns out has written like almost as many #1 hits as Lennon and McCartney, but like over the last. So like, think boy bands all the way up to, Katy Perry and Gaga, and he's
so
like
it's like
a bunch of things.
So it's like Motown for us.
Kind of, but then it's the story of how Shakespeare's wife, Anne Boleyn, pitches that what if Juliet doesn't die at the end of Romeo and Juliet? And so it's her pitching to Shakespeare, but also that play playing out in real time to these sons of our youth. And
Anne Hathaway, you mean pitching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh,
For
I'm
the
intrigued.
the actor.
Yes, the actor playing the historical figure.
Anne Hathaway, Shakespeare's wife, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Actually, Betsy Wolfe is playing Anne.
Ooh.
And I love me some.
Okay.
Wolfe. Anyway, so
just based on book, I'll go Kimberly Akimbo.
I mean, that's what I'm leaning towards. But Some Like It Hot was great. It was just They do some really great things with this comedy, but it's not quite as funny, which is ironic, and it's also doesn't gut punch you like Kimberly does.
Oh.
But
I would hope there's some theater loyalty of the fact that Kimberly Akimbo is adapted from a play, Some Like It Hot's adapted from a movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the playwright adapted it from the play. So that's
hell yeah, he did.
A bear.
A bear indeed.
I love.
A bear unlike any other.
I'm a big fan of a bear.
Me too. I love Fuddy Mears.
Exit pursued by David Lindsay a bear. He chases me off stage at Anne Juliet.
He does.
Says, get out of here.
Get out. Why are you not on stage, David?
David.
Next is Best Original Score. We are starting with these because they won't be televised anyway.
Oh darn.
Terrible.
But Best Original Score, music and lyrics written for the theater. Almost Famous. Music by Tom Kitt, lyrics by Cameron Crowe and Tom Kitt. Kimberly Akimbo, music by our queen Janine Tesori, and lyrics by David Lindsay Abaire. K-pop, music and lyrics by Helen Park and Max Vernon. Shucked, music and lyrics by Brandy Clark and Shane McAnally. I hope I said that right. And Some Like It Hot, music by Mark Shaman and lyrics by Scott Whitman and Mark Shaman.
Incredible.
I think Some Like It Hot might take it, but I hope Janine does.
I mean, yeah, it's just I don't
Janine the
honestly
Queen.
have no idea. I'm hoping Kimberly Akimbo takes it, but like I put out a poll on my Instagram the other day, and there were some people that loved Some Like It Hot more, and so
yeah, I think it might be between those.
It's a good score.
Yeah. I think Some Like It Hot score works better out of context.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still telling a really progressive, wonderful story. So I don't know. My hope is Kimberly Akimbo, but I wouldn't be upset if Some Like It Hot took it. I've listened to Shucked. It's cute. It's well
Shucked
written.
works better in context, way better in context.
It does work better in context. And is that, I would actually love to know, is that part of the best score? Is that if it works better in context or out? Like, is that a factor?
I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. there's something I don't know. I mean, that's a whole big that's a whole big.
So
Are you okay, Tessa?
I'm fine.
There's an
I just
earthquake
wanna be
in
comfortable.
Pennsylvania.
I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah, sure.
As you
I don't
should
know
be.
that that's probably like a whole bigger discussion. But I think that like a score, um, I think has to move you outside of its context. I think without any relevant
Mm.
meaning, not less so than like, or more so I think than like a specific song, like a you know, I don't know, some best songs can be anthems and they can be standalone, but I think like a score really has to like evoke certain emotions, and I think on some level needs to be able to do that outside of the context of the show. So I think I think
Interesting.
yeah, so I think a more difficult score, or like quote unquote a lower ranking score for me, is like one that I would really only listen to it if I was interested in listening to the show.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, like that's part of what I wonder is it's like I know that has a consideration in the Grammys,
Yeah,
but I
right.
don't know if it does in the Tonys.
I don't know either. I think I think the tough part about the Tony, and I think theater in general, is like it's so all tied to one thing. So like celebrating or emphasizing these specific elements of it is so hard for anybody to separate those things out. Does that make any sense?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally,
Absolutely.
totally. It's like, yeah, right, exactly. Like you could have a best musical that does every single one of these things
Yeah.
correctly,
Mhm.
but in context of each other. Whereas if you're breaking all these pieces apart, maybe they do
Yeah.
have to stand on their own in order
Yeah.
to win for them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was not even aware that Almost Famous had opened.
Yeah, it opened. Yeah, it opened and didn't stay open very long.
I was gonna say, the website says the hottest new musical of the season, according to New York Post. Yikes!
Mhm.
And this young, sexy cast lighting up the Great White Way. That's it from Vanity
It got
Fair.
about 100 performances.
Ah,
Oh.
well,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
well,
good luck, Almost Famous. I didn't see K-pop. Did either of you?
I've
no, I
listened
kind
So
of wanna.
to it. Yeah, I've
You
listened to it.
have?
It's fun. Yeah.
I bet it's fun. I bet it's good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Um I think it's very accessible too, I think. Like for people who are like, I don't know what K-pop is, or whatever.
I don't know. K-pop is.
Which I think is a very
Broadway.
which I think is a very difficult line to walk. So
Well, and I mean,
that's cool.
this season has been wrought with scandal because they, K-pop came back with all of the very valid criticisms of like just the inherent racism in the reviews, and it's like, yeah,
Right,
Mhm, mhm.
right.
Yeah.
it's a bummer.
Yeah. More diverse reviewers, please.
Please, for the love of God. Anyway, my vote is Kimberly Akimbo, but I wouldn't be upset if some like it hot got it.
I'll go some like it hot, just to be different.
Just to be contrary.
Yeah.
Just to be contrary.
I think I agree that I think it will be Some Like It Hot, although I haven't seen anything. And so I wish in my heart that Janita Sori would get to take some more prizes home because she's the queen.
Because she's the queen, for sure.
I actually saw that I don't the Times does that article every year, who is nominated and who should have been nominated, and then who's going to win and who should win. And according to them, they are predicting that Kimberly will take home Best Book and Best Score, and Some Like It Hot will take home Best Musical.
Ooh, okay, New York Times. Wow.
Yeah.
And who knows? So
that seems that seems on trend.
It does seem on trend, which is a bummer. But it's just an incredibly contentious and competitive season. Best performance by an actor in a leading role in a play. Yaha Abdul Mateen II in Top Dog Underdog, Corey Hawkins in Top Dog Underdog, Sean Hayes in Goodnight Oscar, Stephen McKinley Henderson Between Riverside and Crazy, and Wendell Pierce in Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. Yikes! I didn't see any.
I think it's gonna be Yahoo.
So glad. I hope so.
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yeah. Having seen Top Dog Underdog, I feel like if it doesn't go to one of those two, I haven't seen Riverside or Crazy. I haven't seen many of the other plays, but having just seen Top Dog, Underdog, one of those two actors has to take this. It was such a feat, that show.
I've also heard that Sean Hayes is revolutionary in Goodnight Oscar. It's just such
right. But one would hope in a field full of Black actors, we could have a winner who's a Black actor. No offense, Sean Hayes.
Yeah,
good
I agree.
work, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's true.
Having read Top Dog, Underdog, I agree. I'll go. Yeah, I agree. I'd probably go Abdul.
Yeah. It is.
Corey's incredible too. I'm
Yeah.
on first name basis with these dudes, just so you know.
Well,
Of course you are. They're on your speed
Wendell
dial.
is incredible. I hate that play, but I would have loved to see him in it.
You hate that play?
I hate Death of a Salesman.
Oh. Yeah, but I would have seen this cast. It's not still running, is it?
I don't think so, unfortunately.
I would have seen this cast, but I dragged my stupid old feet.
Stupid old flat feet. Stupid old.
They are very high arches, I'll have you know. I have very high arches.
I was just adding more negatives to your feet.
Best performance by an actress in a leading role in a play. We have Jessica Chastain in A Doll's House, Jodie Comer in Prima Facie, Jessica Hecht in Summer 1976, and Audra McDonald in Ohio State Murders. Do you think Audra's going to take home her 7th Tony?
I mean, I would love that.
It's got to be Audra.
I
would love that, but honestly, like in the like sort of mainstream news, I've only ever hear about Jessica Chastain's Dollhouse.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, do you think it's because she's Jessica Chastain or because it's that good?
I mean, it's a doll's house, so I can't imagine. I can only imagine it's only so good. So she must be great if they, But it's also Jessica Chastain. I don't know how likely she is to win. But
A Doll's House named Desire.
Yeah.
We're still waiting, David.
Yeah.
We're still waiting.
I'm busy. Next Tony cycle. Don't worry, it'll be workshopped and ready.
Great.
If it's not Audra, I'm going to be angry, but I could see it being Jessica Chastain right behind.
I just have not heard about the other two at all.
I've read some things about Summer. I hear it's great, but I haven't. I mean, like I didn't choose to see it, so obviously.
I mean, Hecht is great, But
Hecht is great.
Hecht is Brecht.
And Prima
Hecht
Facie
is
is becoming a movie.
Hecht is Brecht?
Hecht is Brecht.
Well, I'm hoping for Audra. So
Yeah.
I'll go Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. Just for funsies.
I'm not being combatively contrary. I'm being cordially contrary.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
If you ever did turn combative, it'd get so messy.
I'm gonna get fucked up. There'll be a new boss in town.
We're so much taller than you.
I know. I'm so short.
It worries me. Like,
yeah.
It worries me
based
deeply.
on height alone, I have no authority.
But why would that be the basis?
I'm just saying, if it was based on height alone, no authority.
I just don't want to hurt you. Okay. Speaking of hurting us, this is where it's going to start getting contentious. Is the best performance by an actor in a leading role in a musical. We have Christian Borle, Some Like It Hot, J. Harrison Ghee, Some Like It Hot, Josh Groban, Sweeney Todd, Brian Darcy James, Into the Woods, Ben Platt, Parade, and Colton Ryan, New York, New York.
I think it's Ben Platt.
I hope it's J. Harrison Ghee.
I hope it's Brian Darcy James.
Ooh.
I just love him. I just have loved him for a long time.
I love Brian Darcy James.
I want to kiss him.
James too. Same. He's so dreamy and so daddy, and
he's so dreamy.
And like, what a thing. And I mean, I love Grobes, but I was
Grobes was Grobes was okay. He's
for a hot second you said Grobe.
I love Grobes.
I love Grobes.
Love some Grobes in the morning.
I love Grobes.
Love Grobes.
No, Joshy was great.
Yeah, bless him.
Beautiful singer, but just a just a straightforward act. It wasn't even. I would say it's not even that scary with Sweeney.
Well, and he's not
Oh.
terrifying. He can't be. He has that sweet face.
Yeah,
He
And
has,
unlike my sweet
but
face,
this is
he doesn't have a psychopath living inside him. So, it's just
but that's what I feel like is interesting because I'm always pitching myself to play all the psychopaths that
Yes.
Shakespeare wrote because I have a friendly face that no one would expect. But if you're not able, I feel like if you're not able
Yeah.
to turn it,
Well, it's always the difference. It's the Christian Bale once said about American Psycho. He was basing it off
basing it on Tom Cruise,
which is a very friendly face, dead behind the eyes. And if you
right?
can't do that, then it doesn't work. And Josh Groban wasn't so much dead behind the eyes. It just wasn't there. There just wasn't. He was trying to do something, and it wasn't enough.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So he was very tragic. It was maybe one of the most like tragic kind of Sweeneys, but I didn't believe as much. I didn't believe his epiphany as much.
No, I didn't. I didn't believe the rage at all.
Yeah,
and also, I wish they would have transposed the entire score up a second for him.
For him, yeah.
Because he's
not a Barry. He's a tenor, right?
No, he's a baritone, but he's a lyric baritone, and he just does not have the meatiness of those low A's that it sometimes requires. And as a result, he also he really lives in the F's and the G's up top, and the highest Sweeney sings is an E ever. So it just it's not that he didn't sing it beautifully; it's just he didn't have a moment to sparkle like Grobe should. Because boy, did he sparkle in Natasha and Pierre.
Right.
Sparkled the shit out of that show.
He's a sparkly boy.
He is.
It was like he was still in Natasha Pierre. That's what it seemed like sometimes.
But speaking of sparkly boys, J. Harrison Gee was just revolutionary. Was just revolutionary in Some Like It Hot. They were so beautiful, and their transformation was so lovely, and they got to be so snarky and so just wonderful. And it was
good.
And what a voice and what a dancer. And it was just and Christian Borle has even gone on record saying, I hope I get to watch Jay win.
Oh,
that's great. I love it. Yeah, I don't know. I think he has the tougher role. I think Daphne, because Daphne's the Jack Lemmon role in the movie. And that think
is hard. That's a really hard role.
Yeah. That's the harder one to connect emotionally to.
And they absolutely do. And also because the show has been rewritten to be progressive and contemporary, it's that she realizes she is happier as a woman.
Well,
which
hey.
was hinted at in Jack Lemmon's. But they go full force. And so
about time.
Yep. It was just so lovely. And so that is my vote. Although Ben Platt was also amazing. I'm sure. That show fucked me up still.
Yeah, it's a fucked up show. I think it would be, for me, as much shit as I gave the movie, it would be such a redemption arc to me to after Dear Evan Hansen, the movie was such an atrocity, for him to come back and be a winner. He rightfully wins this. If he wins it, I have there's no issue with that, because I would be yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, Christian Bale was also incredible in this show. It was made for both of them, and there's so much dance, and they both dance so beautifully, and they're so funny.
So good.
And it's just, yeah. It's if anyone wins, I'll be pretty stoked.
It's a good.
I mean,
that's awesome.
I don't know about Colton.
Not the New York guy.
I didn't see it, but it's also his it's his first lead. He's cute.
Yeah,
he can a really nice
pay
voice.
his dues.
Yeah. Yeah. He can earn it. He's got time.
He can earn it. So now the most contentious for me is best performance by an actress in a leading role in a musical, which is Annalee Ashford, Sweeney Todd. Which when I saw it, I was like, she is going to be the one to beat. After I saw it, I was like, oh,
you remember you saying that?
She is remarkable. But then Sarah Bareilles, Into the Woods, which my sister saw and said,
thank you for saying it with proper dialogue.
That's actually a side by side by Susan Black.
Wouldn't it be? Is it French? Would it be Bareilles?
I think it's Italian.
Sarah Bareilles.
Sarah Bareilles.
My sister saw
Like a squirrel.
my sister saw her in this role and said she was incredible. Victoria Clark, who is a goddamned magician. Lorna
Yeah.
Courtney from Anne Juliet, and then Michaela Diamond from Parade, who was also just y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yup.
Go ahead.
Well,
Ian's
I mean,
go.
this is the one that I've seen the most in. I'm 3 out of that. Well, I said 3 out of the nope, 4 out of the last one. 3 out of this one. But Victoria Clark manages to believably be a teenager, which is just the strangest thing I've ever said. And actually, Janine Tesori was like, when we were pitching this, we're like, you're not actually old enough for this, but we'll age you up.
Wow.
But like the way she is able to, she's got the sparkliest eyes, and like it just carries through the impishness and the believability, and like there are so many genuinely sweet and heartbreaking moments in that show that she just carries.
I've seen Victoria Clark in Light in the Piazza. I have not seen her in Kimberly Akimbo. And I hate Light in the Piazza. And Victoria Clark made me care about a character that like in any other context I would be like, forget this. So just on that alone, I would be like, yeah, she's incredible. I think my top 2 for the contention would be because of that, Victoria Clark, and then Annaleigh Ashford, because
I know.
Similarly, I don't always love Annaleigh Ashford, and I thought in this one she was incredible.
It's like it was made for her.
Yes.
Wow.
She did some funny stuff that I've never seen a Lovett do.
No, and like
Wow.
it's out of left field and like genuinely funny, and it worked beautifully in the moment with the character. I was just like, who are you?
Yeah, and was correct.
That's
like
cool.
it was she made correct choices.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, why has nobody ever thought of doing this? You know?
She sang it beautifully, and
yeah.
And
all right, those are my top 2 as well. I haven't seen
want a dry hump, but like Michaela was also just so lovely.
I liked Michaela, but I think it's similarly to leading actor, which is like just based on the movie. Obviously, I don't know how much it's different than the musical, but the Jack Lemmon role is harder than the Tony Curtis role. Yes. So I would pick Jay Harrison over Christian Borle. So similarly, Michaela Diamond, I think Lucille's kind of got an easier role.
It's true.
Than especially against the rest of these, which is like Sweeney Todd is really about Mrs. Lovett. Like,
yes,
you know.
It is. Well, and I said it when you will hear this conversation in our next episode, but I was saying that her dialect is all over the place, which is fine. But like, but like when you're
she's still trying to choose one
in a musical, it's like, oh dear.
Yeah.
Have that sorted out.
Yeah. And I love Sarah to death. I think she's amazing.
For sure.
But I think she's also a little like you know, I don't think it's that complicated of a role.
And one last thing, this is also kind of a Victoria Clark comeback story, because she wasn't going to act anymore after menopause. Her voice stopped behaving itself, which happens a lot. And so she was like, no, I'm just gonna direct. And then they talked her into taking this, and I'm so
that's fantastic.
Shit,
okay, she's
that's
my top.
Incredible.
She's my top pick then.
Wait, what if I go through menopause? Will my voice
what?
You have another thing to look forward to in menopause.
Are you telling me that my voice will get weird on me?
Well, I mean, it will not behave itself like it used to. It's not that it won't be the same voice. I mean, and that happens to literally everybody. When everyone gets hormonal, it happens.
Tessa, who gets the most hormonal?
Tessa, I get that you're in distress, but like the hair is making it so poetic. Like it's like you're draped on a chaise longue. Like come on, my voice.
My voice.
Mean? Will I go through menopause?
What do you mean, menopause?
Me?
What?
me.
Just impeccable pose work.
Oh,
Viewers,
it's
listeners, it
top
was
notch.
insane.
Oh, we'll release this on YouTube. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. And
Oh,
we'll
good to
pretend,
see.
and then
Great.
we'll have, and
So if
then
you want
you'll
to see what
edit-
we look like, go
and
to
then
our YouTube.
edit in a text that says live, but like in quotes, like live, and then in parentheses, live from Rome.
Live from Rome.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In front of a sold out crowd.
Best performance by an actor in a featured role in a play. Jordan E. Cooper, Ain't No More. Samuel L. Jackson, August Wilson's The Piano Lesson. Arian Moayed. I think I said that right.
Oh,
think so.
yeah,
Paul's
from
Task.
Succession.
Yeah. Brandon Uranowitz, Leopoldstadt, and David Zayas, Cost of Living.
I don't know any of these plays, yo.
Yeah, but I mean, Piano Lesson, Samuel L. Jackson.
I mean,
I
Piano
was gonna
Lesson.
say
He's-
I've heard things from Leopoldstadt.
Oh, okay. Samuel L. Jackson played the younger role
Right.
on Broadway when his Broadway debut was the younger role in Piano Lessons. So the fact that
That's
he's
right.
come back to play the older role is like kind of special. I'd
That might be
I'd
enough of a
pretty
story,
excited to
honestly.
see. Yeah.
That might be enough of
But
a
I
story,
also heard
honestly, to
Adrian-
nominate to win.
Right? And
Yeah.
I've heard Adrian Moayed is actually a gem of a person and was really incredible in this play, but I didn't see it myself.
That's a tough
Yet.
role.
It's all tough. Like this seriously.
Torvald?
Yeah.
This season of
Torvald
Tonys
sucks.
is just wow.
Yeah. Torvald sucks. He's the male equivalent of gaslight gatekeep girl boss. And
No, it's true.
which is like mansplain manipulate male wife, except he's not a male wife, he's a alpha male.
Ugh.
And
Which is made up.
Just made up.
Which is made up.
Also wolves.
Alpha
Wolves
males
are made up.
Wolves
Wolves
not made
aren't
up.
real. That's
Yeah,
right.
they're
They're
not made-
they are
unicorns.
real.
They're like
I've seen them.
unicorns.
They're unicorns in disguise. They had to hide their horns because their horns were being poached by poachers.
Wolves, unicorns in disguise.
Unicorns in uniform.
In uniform. Best performance by an actor in a featured role in a musical. We have Kevin Cahoon, Shucked, Justin Cooley, Kimberly Akimbo, Kevin, oh goodness, Deaguila, Some Like It Hot, Jordan Donica, Lerner and Lowe's Camelot, and Alex Newell, Shucked. Christ, y'all.
Double shucked.
So
Double
I didn't actually
shucked.
see Justin Cooley. I saw his understudy, but
Oh.
I've seen all of
Oh.
his performances on the video, and he's just adorable and remarkable and perfect for this part. Kevin was incredible in Some Like It Hot. He plays the billionaire,
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Osgood.
fun.
and he
That's a fun
has
role.
an opening note. He has a number as well as a romantic number with Jay later.
Oh,
So,
incredible.
Okay.
I know. It's the most adorable. And then of course Alex Newell is fabulous in whatever they do.
Of course.
I want Alex Newell to win so that they can go up there and shatter the acting category. And so
Yes.
it all collapses into one category next
That
year.
would be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or one category with 10 people, or just
One category. I think you do one. Yeah, not all. Yeah, one acting category for a play, one acting category for a musical,
or
and
how
then
about
and then you do one starring performance and one feature performance. I don't know.
Yeah.
how about we add another category but make it even more gray area and do best mask presenting, best femme presenting, best non-binary
Oh,
I
I like that. I don't hate that.
for both play and musical.
don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's just so many categories.
It is.
It does add
And
time.
and I don't really you can't, unlike sports, which is like maybe a more contentious debate, but like you can't really give me a quantifiable reason why theater or like acting
Is
should be
separated.
gendered. Yeah. Like that's weird.
I mean, it is weird, but I think it's honestly just so that more people have a shot at awards.
I guess, yeah.
Right.
And so
I
why
don't
don't we
know.
just make one extra, well, 2 extra awards? Because honestly, there aren't enough Tony Awards. They should still be sound design. There should be best replacement. There should be all kinds of
Yeah,
things.
the fact that there aren't is
Yeah.
They did
annoying,
best replacement
shocking.
for
Those-
1 year.
Yeah. Those
You're kidding.
categories are more important to me than adding another acting category. I think they should.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fair and
Yeah.
fascinating. I
Best ensemble. There should
I
be.
think I'm gonna have to do best
Oh.
ensemble for sure.
There should
Yeah.
be.
Best dance captain.
Hell yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot.
I'm gonna vote for Justin Cooley just because, but my second would be Kevin, and I would love it if Alex won as well. Actually,
Yeah.
Jordan is also. I haven't seen Camelot, but I've seen videos of him performing, and he is revolutionary as Lancelot. What a voice!
Oof.
And he's so like, you know what? I wouldn't be upset if any of them won, and someone's gonna.
And the winner
Arguably.
is nobody won. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no, what?
Good
Oh,
night.
go home, everyone.
Oh no!
I wish I could comment more on this, but nobody wrote anything for me. So bye.
We're just gonna get to hear presenters' true thoughts and feelings, which is going to be fascinating.
Yes. Perfect.
Sorry, I just put my hair up and saw what it looks like, and I look silly.
You just have a lot
This
of
is going to be
No,
really
you win.
entertaining for the YouTube
No, you win.
watchers.
for the
all
Best
this
hair.
watchers.
Best hair
hair.
goes to
Tessa
Professor
Flannery.
Flannery.
Protessor.
Protessa.
Protessa
As opposed to
Flannery.
amateur Tessa.
This one is also yikes, y'all. Best performance by an actress in a featured role in a musical. We have Julia Lester, Into the Woods, Ruthie Ann Miles, Sweeney Todd, and she deserves that nomination.
Yeah.
Bonnie Milligan, Kimberly Akimbo, Natasha Yvette Williams, and Betsy Wolfe.
Damn. I want Ruthie to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, I do want Ruthie to win.
I would love if Ruthie won, but Bonnie Milligan was so good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Bonnie Milligan win either.
And also Natasha Yvette Williams was so good. And Betsy Wolfe has been nominated 3 times and she hasn't won, so it would be nice if she won too.
Oh, Betsy.
Come on, Betsy.
I don't know who Julie Lester is.
I think that's okay. Little Red Riding Hood? I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
a
haven't seen
newcomer,
this
a
production,
newcomer.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I want to see the tour desperately because my queen, Stephanie J. Block, is the baker's wife, but it's not anywhere near me.
Oh.
Balls. Okay, so I'm going to go
You can
Bonnie, Ruthie, Natasha, all tied for number 1. Don't really care which one wins, but it would be great if Bonnie won. It would be great if Ruthie won. It would be great
Ruthie.
if Natasha won.
Ruthie.
I'll go Ruthie too.
Ruthie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ruthie.
wouldn't you agree, David, that she just sounded like a completely different person? Her
Yes.
voice is just amazing. And it was
I
amazing before, but she's got some training. She's done some
Yeah,
work.
no, I thought I thought her understudy was on or something.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I was like, oh,
and then I heard a
that's
couple
not
things.
Ruthie.
Then I heard a couple tangible moments where I was like, "Oh no, that's her." And then I saw her, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Wow.
"No, it's her. It's still her."
Craig.
Just, truly remarkable. Best scenic design of a play. It's Prima Facie, Life of Pi, Goodnight Oscar, Leopoldstadt, and A Christmas
Oh.
Carol.
It's gotta be Life of Pi. Have you guys seen the video?
I have seen the video.
I
Oh
think
my
I have.
God.
Let it be Life of Pi. Let it be so. Make it so.
Let it be. Make it, sir. Oh my God.
Scenic design of a
I've-
musical. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I really want to see Prima Facie. I haven't yet, but I do want to see it. And I love Jodie Comer, and I've seen like bits of the set design, and it does look really beautiful.
Amazing.
But yeah, let it be Life of Pi.
Best scenic design for a musical. Beowulf Borat, New York, New York. Mimi Leon, Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. That would be swell. That was really quite the set. It was lovely. It was
I defer to
minimalist.
your expertise.
It was minimalist, but like in a way that became maximalist at the right moment. Wouldn't you agree?
Ooh,
It was nice. It was a good set.
It was a great set.
Yeah.
Michael Yergin and 59 Productions, Lerner Loves Camelot. And then Scott Pask designed both Shucked and Some Like It Hot. And Some Like It Hot
Well,
set
good
was
for
lovely too. It was just, it was cake. It was just It was sparkly cake the whole time, and I loved it. Kimberly Akimbo was a very basic set that was very functional, and they should have gotten more points for having actual ice skating on stage, but it's fine.
What?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually ice skate on
Dang,
stage.
that's amazing.
Yeah, they have ice skating. That video is cool too. There's like a
I gotta
TikTok
see
of
all these shows.
them doing that. I'll go. I'll I saw Camelot set too. Camelot has a pretty good set. And Some Like It Hot. I'm gonna go Some Like It Hot. As much as I love the Sweeney Todd set,
Yeah,
it
Some Like
is
It.
pretty minimalist.
Yeah, Some Like It Hot was Broadway, and it was just
Yeah,
lovely.
yes. Yeah, Broadway decadence, like good
Mm.
stuff.
Broadway
Good
decadence,
stuff.
and yet the actors were still schlepping, which I love.
Oh yeah, they were working hard.
Every single show this season, actors were schlepping stuff, and I was like, okay, good. I'm glad we're going back to this because it's just so much more realistic as far as theater in this country.
Mhm.
Mm. Then I'll go with
best-
Some Like It Hot too.
Great. Best costume design of a play: Tim Hatley, Nick Barnes, and Finn Caldwell. Life of Pi. Dominic Von Hill, Fat Ham. Bridget, oh Jesus Christ.
Reifenstuhl.
Reifenstuhl, thank you. Bridget Reifenstuhl, Leopoldstadt. Emilio Sosa, Ain't No More, and Emilio Sosa, Goodnight Oscar. Well done, you two, doing 2 shows a season.
Emilio Sosa, Ain't No Mo is a great costume design.
Fat Ham. I
Yeah.
choose Fat Ham.
I'm gonna go Leopoldstadt.
Ooh, a split.
Fine. A split. Best costume design of a musical: Greg Barnes, Some Like It Hot. Susan Hilferty, Parade. Jennifer Moeller, Lerner and Lowe's Camelot. Clint Ramos and Sophia Choi, K-pop. Paloma Young and Juliet, and Donna Zakowska. Donna Zakowska, New York, New York. I even practiced
Woof.
these. Woof. New York, supposedly, from the videos I've seen, has an incredible set. Like, they recreate so many iconic things.
New York locations.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, and like they do.
But this is costume, right?
Yeah. But I
Oh.
mean, like the it doesn't quite have
The
the
look.
sparkle of Some Like It Hot, but it has the look and the historic accuracy that's still very showy. And
Ooh, okay.
Anna Uzel has never looked better. I am really bummed she wasn't nominated. I'm also really bummed that shit. Come on, brain. Our darling actor who plays Sugar in Some Like It Hot was not nominated either.
Oh,
That's 2 years in
Oh.
a row that both of them were not nominated and should have been.
Oh,
Because
boo.
neither of them were nominated for 6, and neither of them were nominated for these
Oh,
shows.
man.
I'm gonna go Paloma Young, even though I haven't seen Anne Juliet.
I'm assuming Anne Juliet is going to blow my mind when I do see it with costumes.
I'm gonna go
Paloma-
Greg Barnes.
Okay. Yeah. Paloma did Natasha Pierre. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Nice.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
The costumes were so lovely and Some Like It Hot.
Mhm.
They were beautiful. Best lighting design of a play: Neil Austin, Leopoldstadt. Natasha Chivers, Prima Facie. John Clark, A Doll's House. Bradley King, Fat Ham. Tim Lurkin, Life of Pi. Jen Shriver, Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. And Ben Stanton, Christmas Carol.
I'll go Life
Ooh.
of Pi again.
I'll go Fat Ham again.
I'm gonna go Fat Ham because I hope they take it, but I'm sure Life of Pi is. It was all of the theaters. 3 out of the 4 theaters were on 46th Street, and so I just saw the Life of Pi line constantly when I was there. Best lighting design of a musical: Ken Billington, New York, New York. Lap Chi Chu, Lerner and Lowe's Camelot. Heather Gilbert, Parade. Howard Hudson and Juliet. Natasha Katz, Some Like It Hot. And Natasha Katz, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Oh, good for Natasha.
Yeah, I hope she takes one. I really do.
I hope Natasha takes it. Yeah,
But
or
also,
Lap.
it's so nice. It's so nice to see so many women in lighting design.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll go Natasha for Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, me too. Because it was
Yeah, because it was
so
a lot
cool.
of the lighting
Yeah,
that was
really,
like that made it work.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'll join with you. I'll join with you in that.
Great. Sound design. Jonathan Deans and Taylor Williams, Ain't No Mo. Carolyn Downing, Life of Pi. Joshua D. Reed, Christmas Carol. Ben and Max Ringham, A Doll's House. And Ben and Max Ringham, Prima Facie.
Huh.
All right, everybody. Can you remind me what this category is? I just don't
Sound
know.
design.
Oh,
Sound design play.
Probably
let's do.
Life
I
of
want to do
Pi.
Prima Facie, even though I've not seen it. Prima Facie, Facie, Foxy,
Facie? I don't fucking know.
Facie.
I think
I
it's
don't speak
prima
Latin.
facie. I think it's prima facie. Yeah.
Facie.
Prima facie.
Facie. Facie. Oh wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go prima.
Yeah, that sounds great. Sound design of a musical. New York, we have Kai Harada, New York, New York. John Shivers, Shucked. Scott Lehrer and Alex Newman, Into the Woods. Gareth Owen and Juliet. Nevin Steinberg, Sweeney Todd, and the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. And the Demon Barber.
Fleet Street. Ooh.
Sweeney Todd! Exclamation point. And the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Benjamin Barker and the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. That's
Benjamin Barker. That was the other one. He wasn't that scary on Benjamin Barker.
No, he
That-
wasn't.
wasn't that.
Great blood, though.
Great blood.
Oh, my sister's
Great
here.
blood.
I'll have to leave soon.
Hide. Oh,
Hide.
I can't.
Quick.
quick, hide.
What's your pick for
What time
what's your
is
pick
it?
for
Tell
best
me.
play? It's
It's
207.
407.
My pick for best play.
Yes.
Hi. Oh no, it's 407. I have to go. What's my pick for best play?
Best play? Yes.
I have to get ready too.
Is it Fat Ham?
Wait, what are the options?
Ain't No Mo, Between Riverside and Crazy, Cost of Living, Fat Ham, and Leopoldstadt.
Fat Ham.
And Leopold and Best Musical, and Juliet, Kimberly Akimbo, New York, New York, Shucked, and Some Like It Hot.
Kimberly Akimbo.
Cool.
I love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye, Tessa.
Bye.
Who was that?
I don't know, but she had amazing hair.
Have they been on the podcast before?
Yeah.
Oh
think
shit.
so.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I'll
shit.
check my notes. Maybe she.
Oh
maybe
shit. Oh shit. Let's see.
Where did we
Where
leave
were
off?
we? We were scenic design, costume design, sound, lighting, sound.
Tessa had to go.
Direction.
Everyone.
Tessa did have to go. She's a busy woman.
She's a busy lady.
She is. So, direction.
Oh, direction. Oh my god.
I mean, if it would help, we can only talk about the things that we've seen because I haven't seen any of these plays, unfortunately.
I'm at a loss for the plays, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I
okay,
haven't seen any
so,
of them.
Best direction of a musical:
Hmm.
Michael Arden, Parade; Lear de Bassinet, Into the Woods; Casey Nicola, Some Like It Hot; Jack O'Brien, Shucked; and Jessica Stone, Kimberly Akimbo.
I didn't know
Yikes.
Lear did Into the Woods. I
Did
had no idea. Michael Arden's Parade was incredible. I think most of
it
that has
was.
to do with the direction for sure.
It was, and it was just. I mean, like I have said it on the episode that you will hear, but I have never been in a theater where I do not feel like I can applaud for the actors, and that was a great deal in part because of the direction, because it was just so chilling and so horrifying. And
but I think similarly with the design stuff, I love a woman director, and Kimberly Akimbo is also like,
and it's her first.
I've heard
Broadway
nothing but
musical.
good things. Oh my god, that would be so cool.
I know. Well, and actually, she used to be an actor. She and Victoria Clark did Titanic together. They did a show together and have been friends for decades. And so,
the Titanic, like the original Titanic, or they did like some like
the original Titanic.
Jessica Stone was in Titanic. The what?
Maybe it wasn't Titanic. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Jessica Stone does not have a Wikipedia page, so this is gonna take time.
Just Jessica Stone. Just Google Jessica Stone and Victoria Clark.
I mean, again, having not seen some of these, I would be fine with any of them winning because I've seen other things that they've done too. So
yeah,
I believe in them, and the ones that I haven't seen, you have seen. So I think the only one that we both haven't seen is Shucked.
Yeah.
But Jack
Um,
O'Brien, man.
I know. I know. Well, and Casey Nicola coming in hot.
Yeah, Casey Nicholaw.
Still got it after
Yeah,
all
but
these years.
you saw Some Like It Hot, so
I did.
you can speak to
And like
its direction.
I mean, the next category is choreography. He's nominated for both. But
Oh,
I think the choreography was incredibly strong. I don't know if the direction was as strong. Like there was some brilliant acting
oh,
and some
for
wonderful things, but like the
mhm.
cohesiveness was not quite there as far
Mhm.
as and like in like Kimberly Akimbo, you just every second your attention was held
Yeah,
because of the direction, because of everything teaming up and working so beautifully. And like this is just my opinion, of course, but
sure.
and Parade was also the same way. It was just like, oh god,
Yeah.
I can't take
That's what I was going to
anymore.
say. I haven't seen Kimberly Akimbo, so I can't speak to it, but in comparison to Parade, which I feel is like uh I feel like they go so flawlessly from one thing to another. Um
Michael
yeah,
Art.
I
Oh
think
no, it
that
was sorry. It was How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. They were both in
very nice. Oh, I love it.
the revival.
Um so yeah, I think in that on that criteria like Michael Arden would edge out Nicola for Something Like It Hot.
Hmm.
So
Well, and I've heard
yeah.
nothing but amazing things about this production of Into the Woods too, because Lear is
Yeah.
one of the greatest we have.
Oh, Lear's
She's
great.
just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and it doesn't matter what she's doing, whether it's an 8-person play around a rug, that's a
Right.
cutting of Shakespeare, still one of my favorite things that I've ever seen,
Yeah.
or her bigger in the park shows, or
Yeah.
some of the revivals that she's done at City Center too are just mwah. So like
Yeah.
I have high hopes for her. I have high hopes for Jessica. I have high hopes for Michael. He's also one of the greatest we have.
Yeah. I'd probably go Jessica or Michael Arden.
Yeah.
I think that's the two. The only uh count against Lear. Lear's great, but I feel like Into the Woods, I feel like everybody's kind of forgotten about it. It's that nominee that was like so early in the cycle that like
Uh-huh.
everybody's kind of, you know,
It's true.
there's just other things that have been like comparable, if not better, that have come along
And
later this year.
to be fair, it's a really hard show to fuck up.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty like solid show. So yeah,
I've seen it in professional productions. I've been in college productions, and I've seen high school productions, and it's
yeah.
still the same show.
You've seen Into the Woods Junior. You know I mean, because that's the other thing too. Like that's the stark contrast of Into the Woods to Sweeney Todd, because watching the Grobes, Annalie Ashford, all them, Sweeney Todd, I was like, oh yeah, Sweeney Todd can be good.
Hmm.
Like Sweeney, but like I have the same thing where it's like with Into the Woods, it's like every Into the Woods I see is like,
It's Into the
okay,
Woods.
it's Into the Woods. Yeah. It's solid.
I love this show.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah.
Best choreography.
But
We have Stephen Hoggett, Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Casey Nicola, Some Like It Hot, Susan Stroman, New York, New York, who was not nominated for direction but was nominated for choreography, Jennifer Weber, and Juliet, and Jennifer Weber, K-pop.
oh my god, another double bill.
I know.
Um Good for them.
I must say, I was blown away by the choreography in Sweeney Todd. It was unexpected and incredibly creative
Yeah.
and creepy and just like not what I was expecting at all. And it really added
Mhm.
for me everything.
It did, yeah, it did add.
Especially this fucking thing
Yeah.
in the beginning of Act One. I
Yes.
was like, oh
Yeah. Yeah, for the viewers who haven't seen it, it's a lot of like, I described it as like it's like a lot of dead bodies moving around, like dead
and it's
bodies being
just
manipulated.
but also
It's pretty
contemporary.
cool.
Like it was
Mhm.
very oh shoot, what's the category? Not interpretive, but
Lyrical,
lyrical
contemporary.
and
Yeah.
contemporary. Yeah,
Yeah, modern.
yeah. It was just, and it,
If yeah,
yeah.
you could feel how it you could feel how it like this sort of choreography is like um evolved from Hamilton and that era, like
Hmm.
the a lot more integrated dance and a more modern, like you said. but it also fit. Like it wasn't a like it wasn't just a bunch of hip hop dance.
Yeah.
Like which would have been inappropriate for Sweeney Todd. They managed to make it work in that way, which I thought was
Mhm.
cool. I love Susan Stroman.
Mhm.
Great choreographer. Honestly, I think that's right to nominate her for choreography in general than director.
I mean, she's an amazing choreographer.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Always. Always.
So I have to imagine that New York has some stellar dance numbers. Did you and you said you liked the choreography for Something Like It Hot?
I did very much.
Yeah.
It was all tap dance.
Oh, incredible.
The whole thing,
Then
including
I will
an
I will go
8-minute
Nicola.
chase sequence.
Oh, hands down, I'll go Casey Nicola then.
I think I'm gonna.
You
have
got to
to
give it up for tap. Yeah.
But like, if Stephen Hodgett won, I wouldn't be disappointed.
No complaints.
And also, way to
no
go, Jennifer!
complaints.
If you win,
Yeah,
kick ass.
incredible, Jennifer. If Jennifer wins, I would imagine it is. I would imagine it is for. Well, that's tough, actually. I would imagine it's for K-pop, but
Yeah.
but
I don't know.
Good for her.
I wish I could have seen In Juliet. I hope it's still running.
Yeah.
When I'm in the city.
I hope it stays for a while. I hear great things about it. So.
And
I hope it's running for a bit.
Best orchestrations: Bill Sherman and Dominic Falacaro, and Juliet. John Clancy.
Oh, Falacaro, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kimberly Akimbo, Jason Howland, Shucked, Charlie Rosen, and Brian Carter, Some Like It Hot, and Daryl Waters and Sam Davis, New York, New York. I loved the orchestrations for Kimberly Akimbo. It was just they captured like the 90s perfectly in a really emotional, wonderful way that I was not ready for, which is probably why I wept twice. But openly
I think
weeping.
Yeah.
But also the Some Like It Hot orchestrations were wonderful. Big band is like my favorite era.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
Oh god, it was so good.
It's hard to beat, especially if you do like if the orchestration is really good.
And I've listened to Anne Juliet and I've loved the arrangements that they've done. So like
I've listened to all of them and so I can at least base it on that. I would go Kimberly Akimbo or Something Like It Hot for sure.
Yeah.
I think Anne Juliet is good orchestration. Is orchestration the same as arrangement?
No, but they don't have an arrangement category, so usually they go hand in hand, which is shitty.
Yeah, so I would think that arrangement, I would go probably arrangement for Anne Juliet.
Yeah,
more so than orchestration.
That's the other thing is they are technically separate jobs, but they often are done by the same people.
Right.
So like it's
weird. So maybe that's why it's not its own category, but maybe it should be.
Yeah, it should be. Or like best vocal arrangement should definitely be.
Yeah.
Category. Because like, damn.
Yeah.
We know that Here Les Loves Music is amazing, but it would be nothing without the vocal arrangements that were done post.
No, yeah. Because it's pretty straightforward. Not straightforward, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Like it's pretty straightforward orchestration.
After we finish this, I would love to speak with you a little bit about Here Lies Love.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Best play.
All right. Yeah, do it.
Ain't No Mo.
Yeah.
By Justin E. Cooper, Between Riverside and Crazy by Stephen Audley Gerges. No, shoot. I think it's Gerges.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. My apologies to the author. Cost of Living by Martina Mayock. Fat Ham by James. Wow, Cameron Michael. I'm so sorry. Leopoldstadt by Tom Stoppard. Comeback Story.
I'll go Fat Ham.
I've heard nothing but incredible things, and it was a public theater show, so I will join you.
Yeah, I mean, Ain't No Mo technically is a public theater show too.
It's true. It is.
I think Fat Ham's the better play.
And like, I wouldn't be upset if Leopoldstadt won. I've heard incredible things.
I'd be fine with that. I would prefer Fat Ham.
Best musical: Anne Juliet, Kimberly Akimbo, New York, New York, Shucked, and Some Like It Hot.
I'll just go Kimberly Akimbo.
That's what I'm doing, but I wouldn't be upset if Some Like It Hot won.
I wouldn't be. I would be a little surprised if Some Like It Hot won. I think, but yeah. I wouldn't be mad about it either, but I think Kimberly Akimbo has my vote.
It's just, I can't wait for you to see it. It's truly
I'm excited.
one
I'm
of the greatest
psyched.
nights
I'm
of theater
psyched to
I've ever
see it.
had. And it was an
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah.
It was a matinee. I saw a fucking matinee.
But it
and I still
felt
was
like a night.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good, this matinee, that it
And I
felt like
was
a
sitting
night of theater.
by myself with a bunch of New Jersey NYU theater teens, which
Oh,
should have ruined
incredible.
any night, and it did not.
Sure.
Including theirs. It didn't ruin their night either. And if you want to talk about bitchy theater kids, there's nothing worse than NYU kids, and they loved it. So
No, yeah, that's the worst.
best revival, The Piano Lesson, A Doll's House, The Sign in Sydney, Bruce Steen's Window, Susan Laurie Parks, Top Dog, Underdog.
Man, I'll go Top Dog, Underdog.
Yeah, me too.
But I think it might be The Piano Lesson. I think they might, just to go along with, like, because I think
And we
Samuel
love
L.
August
Jackson would be a
Wilson.
good story too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we love August Wilson.
And the last contentious best
Mm.
revival of a musical.
Oh yeah.
Yikes! Into the Woods, Lerner and Lowe's Camelot, Parade, and Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Honestly, I think it's a 3-horse race. I think Camelot doesn't stand a chance.
No.
I think the other 3 are just incredible. Again, I think Into the Woods loses the edge a bit because it just feels long ago. It feels like last year practically. Like it feels like last year's award cycle.
Ironically, all three of
yeah.
the legs on this horse are short, limited runs.
Yeah, I know, and maybe that's probably better for revivals. I don't know,
Probably.
but I will go Parade as much as I love Sweeney Todd.
I think I'm gonna have to go
I'll go
Parade too, because like it fucked me up, and it was amazing to see Sweeney. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But Parade fucked me up.
And I also would say too, like, Parade has not been revived since then. Sweeney Todd and Into the Woods have both had a revival since their original run.
They have.
So
Into
like
the Woods has had a
that's
couple.
That's pretty unique. Yeah, Into the Woods has had a couple. So I think that's pretty unique in its way, that it has managed to do that and be so timely.
And also, our Lord and Savior Steve has 2 nominations in Best.
Hell yeah.
So.
Hell yeah.
Just saying.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I would be fine with either of them winning. If Sweeney Todd wins it, that's pretty great as well. But because it's a great fucking production. But man, it's what you said. It's like Parade. Parade fucked me up.
It did. It fucked me up. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about all of them. But like Parade, it haunts me in a way that not many things do.
Oh.
I haven't listened to the cast album because I'm like, nope, can't not revisit.
I know,
this yet.
Yeah,
nope, can't.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
But Kimberly,
it's a good cast album.
Kimberly, I've been listening to every day.
Oh, of course.
And Some Like It Hot every other day.
Hell yeah.
And Sweeney is releasing. There's a track at a fucking time.
I know, they're so good. They're so good about it. I love that. Incredible. But Sweeney Todd, I will say, had I think we talked about this after we haven't talked about Sweeney since I saw it, right?
No, we haven't.
I will say, like, the toughest thing, like one of the best moments in the play, in the show in general, is Pretty Women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially the fake out. And the one thing that, for all of its faults, the movie does really fucking well and plays to the strength of the medium of film, is that they can really fake you out with that first knife cut, and then it just leads into Pretty Women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hard to recreate on stage.
Yep.
And Sweeney Todd, the way that they did it, and the way the arrangement and everything, like, in that moment, it was perfect, and it made me audibly go.
Yep.
like as it faked me out, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna do it. There's no other way. There's no way he's not gonna do it.
And the blood was excellent. I heard several
people
go.
Was beautiful.
I heard when I saw it, I heard several people go, and one person go, oh.
Yeah. I was just telling someone else that, like, because they were trying to figure out how you know, how gory it is, and also if there like are any jump scares or anything. And I said it's not that. I don't think it's that bloody. Like the blood looks
No.
great, but I think if you're like further back, especially, it's like it's just gonna look kind of red. You know, it doesn't look like gratuitous. Then also, the I can only really remember one main jump scare, and I think I think the judge fucked it up a little bit. You know, when the judge is supposed to grab Mrs. Lovett when she comes down into the basement, into the oven place,
Mhm.
and the judge isn't quite dead. I think like the scene was still transitioning, or like the cue was off, and like the judge was just like, I was like, well, that's not a jump scare.
You
I
were
think
like,
that was supposed to be a jump scare. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I think
more
that
of
was
a
supposed
jump
to be
scare.
like
It was
a
more of a jump scare when I saw it. He didn't start moving until after she was standing.
yeah. Okay, so there you go. So I think he fumbled a little bit because like Mrs. Lovett was like not quite there, and he was just like,
Hang on. I do think an egregious oversight was not nominating Gatton Matazzaro.
yeah, yeah. I
You
he
disagree?
was great. He was great. He was great. What would he
He was
be in?
just so
Featured actor in a play or in a musical?
Yeah, he was so touching. Jordan Fisher was
Yeah,
fine.
Jordan
He was
Fisher was
fine.
oddly was okay. Yeah,
He was fine.
I forgot that he was in it. So he was my jump scare. Like Anthony walks out, Anthony turns and is like, "Hello, Mr. Todd, thank you." And I just went, oh, Jordan Fisher. Like,
I looked over at my wife who was going when Gatton walked on stage, and I was like, Stranger Things, and she went. He was her jump scare.
I like that the cast is our jump scares.
Theater kids.
Yeah,
we know
theater
what's
kids.
coming.
Yeah, we know. I already know they die.
Something else that was shocking is I still have every note of Sweeney in my head. Every single note. I was like, because even shows that I know well, things tend to disappear, and I tend to be like, oh, this is different. But it's like, nope, that one I still have every single fucking note in my head.
But I think it's a fucking complicated one. I think I think that's why you learn it, you like never unlearn it. It's like when they talk about Java, like Java coding. It's like you learn that once and like you never have to do it again because it's gonna stick with you forever.
Yep.
Uh yeah, I loved Gatton. But I don't
Also,
know.
Nicholas Christopher was an amazing Pirelli.
Oh yeah, he was great. He was a great Pirelli. I liked everybody. I thought
I
the
did
judge
too.
was appropriately creepy.
He
I
was.
loved this weird accent the Beetle was trying to do.
I know. It was great.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, he was. It was.
Yes,
Little...
if I could have the day off, it would be grand. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was definitely. It was like. It was. Oh shoot! It was somebody. It was.
Yeah.
Who is this? David, tell me, who is this?
Well, yeah. It was like a flamboyant German, but like British. Oh no! Oh no! We're going to do this. No, no.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, Judge, if I could just have the day off, it's my daughter's birthday.
Who is this? Yes. Tell me. I'll think of it and then I'll go, oh my God, and I'll text you immediately.
Please.
But yeah, it was just such an amazing season.
Yeah.
Really.
I hope the performances are awesome. It ultimately, is not about who wins.
It's a celebration of the theater.
It's a celebration of the theater, and unfortunately the wins are usually, if we're being realistic, like a lot of the wins are based on what shows can tour and run a little bit more.
It's true.
So capitalist greed, the business side of show business. So I think my hope instead is that, as it is for all Tony broadcasts, that some kids who don't get to go to Broadway, who don't live here in the greatest city of the world like I do, brag, get to see some shows, get to see some incredible performances and be inspired, and yeah, be inspired to perform, be inspired to write, be
Inspired to
inspired
make
to make.
and
Yeah,
to study
please.
and to just keep being in love with this art form.
Yeah, please, please, please.
Speaking of being in love with this art form, shall we talk about
Here
Here Lies?
lies love.
So unfortunately, it's been a very active Reddit page, and
Yeah,
I defended it for a long time because it was just a bunch of honkies being stupid as far as like as far as like talking out their ass about things they had no idea about. And
yeah,
I was like, please see the show. Don't
yeah.
I promise you there is catharsis and you do not go out loving the Marcoses. I promise you that I
Right.
watched people be
Oh,
horrified every single night. But
oh,
then
this is interesting.
it became other things. And I would love to
Yeah,
talk to you as a person of Filipino heritage as well as a person
please.
who loves this show.
Oh, well, this is interesting because I thought you were going to talk about the other controversy, which
I
is
will, but this one's
okay.
first.
Okay,
Um,
well, I think this is intersectionality, Cameron. I think they run hand in hand, which is very interesting. The
mhm,
first the thing I'll say about it um is that the Marcoses are kind of, I mean, they're kind of like Eva Peron. It's like it's like a I'm drawn we're drawn to watching these people of incredible power and incredible influence um be terrible. And I think that's okay. Um I don't think art that showcases those people necessarily celebrates those people. Um and I think we have more egregious media that does that. I don't think at any point in Here Lies Love do I feel like they're getting me to sympathize with the Marcoses, which I don't, because it was a family of monsters.
I
Um,
mean, the other thing that's come up recently is
yeah,
that a lot of people who live in the Philippines currently are saying that the fact that the show exists at all is a monstrosity because of
sure,
what the social media manipulation in the Philippines has become.
sure, yeah,
And the fact that a Marcos is currently in power. And so like
yeah.
it's
And
just been
who does though seem to be like, you know, legitimately trying to do better than their forefathers. But yeah, so it's complicated. I imagine that Here Lies Love is probably not going to get there, um, which is fine. I think it's fine. They've had enough of the Marcoses. It'd be like like I have to imagine like Evita doesn't particularly do well in Argentina. I don't know. I don't
it's hard to
know.
say. I mean, the last revival was the first ever time we had someone of Argentinian descent play Ava. Ever.
Right. Yeah, which is wild. Um,
It is.
but yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, I mean that goes into all those elements aspects of the conversation, which is like uh, I don't think you should censor art. I think art should be allowed to exist. So there's that. Can you do art showcasing terrible people, objectively terrible people? There's no like middle ground, fortunately. It's not like there's some people except unless they're extremists, like who are like, yeah, Marcos, great. Ferdinand Marcos, my boy. Um, you know, there's nobody like that. But there is kind of a strange fascination of Imelda, even if there's people who are like, she was terrible, she's a terrible person. Fine, yeah. But I think she's a character worthy of study. I think
Hmm.
she's a and 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 makes for a brilliant musical,
Oh,
I think.
absolutely. I agree with you.
So yeah. I mean, I would argue that like a lot of really great musicals are about villains
Hmm.
ultimately, I mean, we're talking about a couple of them right here. Sweeney Todd, you know.
Yeah.
um and Parade, there's no villains in Parade except for the people who
Everyone's the
who
villain.
like, but everyone's the villain. At the very least, it's interesting that like Lucille and Leo Frank, like at least the way they are in the musical, they're not good people.
No.
They kind of suck.
Yeah.
but it is still like the principle of the thing of like, this person seems to have been wrongfully, accused and arrested, and
And
now is going to be
convicted.
and killed, and then
Yep.
killed for it. And that's wrong, but that also speaks nothing to their character, um and so it's just interesting that uh Imelda would be singled out
Yeah.
as like, oh no, we shouldn't do a musical about this. It's like, you've fucking done musicals about villains for years. Like,
Yeah.
don't tell me that this is the one that you have a problem with.
Well, and I mean, just for the record, all of my favorite theater has always been about how there is no such thing as ultimate good and ultimate evil. Everyone
Yeah.
has the potential to do both and does on a regular basis. And it's all about how you deal with it and how you approach tiny situations, not big ones, tiny ones. It's all about how you approach a daily life that determines whether you're a good person or not. And all of the shows that I saw deal with that a little bit. And Here Lies Love deals with that in a very upfront way. And like,
Yeah.
the thing is there are moments where you find yourself swept up with the excitement, which was so purposeful.
Sure, that's absolutely what you're supposed to do, and it's also like, dramaturgically, you're supposed to do that too. That's why it's in a nightclub. That's why like the audience is being moved around.
Yep.
That's why you're like relentlessly browbeaten with like sound and lights and like all these messages, and it's like a bunch of different people very quickly giving you sound bites. It's like Nino Aquino has like a point, and then as soon as you're like, oh, maybe there is something, oh no, we gotta move now, and he's gone. It's like there's a point to that. And um and yeah, I think it's a little silly, but I mean, but that's the uh reactionary culture around art, especially these days, which is like, um without that context, everybody's like, well, you shouldn't do that about this monster. It's like, you have the most popular Netflix series right now of all time is Dahmer. Like, fuck you. Like, come on. Like, let us do like a story, because it does start to reek of racism.
It does. Well, and one of the musicals that I'm currently working on is about a horrifying psychopath prisoner in the 50s in Montana who ended up taking an entire town by hostage. And yes, people died. And
Yeah.
yes, real families were affected, but my show is about them. It's about how they deal with this and how they dealt and how so many people managed to survive in spite of horrifying odds.
Yeah.
And like that's what Here Lies Love is about too, is the fact that the Filipino people were able to triumph in spite of this horrifying
Yeah.
regime.
Yeah. And it's yeah, I don't know. I think it's a I think it's a I just think it's a good fucking story, and it's worth telling. It's worth contemplating and recontextualizing in this way. Not recontextualizing as in like I'm manipulating it for a specific message, but I'm recontextualizing it as like a musical, which is accessible, which is like,
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing too, is like we do that all the time. Like, I mean, fucking Hamilton is about, like, yeah, he had some good ideas, but Hamilton's the fucking villain of his own show.
He
Like,
is.
we have to be okay with that.
Yep. Well, and like, I mean, the people who are really vehemently against it, they have valid points, and I completely understand. But at the end of the day, are you going to try and censor art or not? Because at the end of the day, we have no control over how people react. We have none.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. That's part of why we do it.
But I think that's a larger conversation of people's illiteracy with media consumption, because it's not the creator's job to be responsible for how people react to it.
No.
You know,
You can't
you're
be.
your reaction is your reaction. That's the creator's job, is just to get a reaction, is just to elicit one.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not eliciting reactions, then there's
What are
no
we
point.
doing? What are
Yeah,
we
there's no
doing?
point. But if you're going, you can also be going for specific reactions for sure. That's what comedy is. Like, I'm hoping everybody laughs, at this.
Yep.
But in general, it's just a reaction, and how you react and how you manage that, that's personal responsibility. And the problem with a lot of our society and culture around it is that we're very bad at consuming media, and we blame the creators. um and and I always applaud a little bit and celebrate a little bit, for the most part. There are some exceptions, but for the most part, I always celebrate a little bit when I hear stories of like this sort of negative feedback or whatever gets back to the creator, and the creator's like, okay. Like,
Cool.
what do you want me to do about it? I'm not changing shit. It's already out there. So, okay, don't see it. And if you have seen it and you want to complain about it, forget about it. Like, what if you didn't like it and you have a negative reaction? It's the same thing. It's like I have the same conversation about it all the time in comedy, which is like, yeah, sometimes you're going to offend. And I do think in that one, it's comedians should be mindful of certain things, but people can take offense of anything.
Yeah,
So if that's
they
their
can.
reaction, ultimately the comedian has to say, well, then there's nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry. And if you want to continue to have a reaction like that, my recommendation is just forget it. Like, go think about something else then.
Well, and furthermore, unpack what upset you. Unpack why. Unpack why
Yeah.
you are having these feelings. Because, like,
Right.
if I had been worse at consuming media, I might have hated Parade because of the way it made me
Right.
feel.
Yeah.
But because I am, quote unquote, certifiably on paper an expert in musical theater,
You could say
I
it
was-
because you're woke.
because I'm woke. No, I was just referring to
No.
the master's degree.
No, I know.
behind
Yes,
me.
yes. Of course.
But
I like the contrast of your master's degree behind you
With the
and then me and my picture of just Carmen Sandiego.
I love it. I love it so much, and my very
this-
gay paintings.
Yeah,
and
you
my
have gay
bar.
gay paintings in a bar. Yeah. I have
That
I
fits
have
us.
I have Waldo and Carmen Sandiego in one picture,
Amazing.
and then I have a still life of Mario. This is like a Mario mushroom and a fire flower. and then this is a still from Spirited Away.
But yeah, I relished
Anyway.
being uncomfortable in that
Yeah.
situation because that's exactly what was supposed to happen. You were
Right.
supposed to feel uncomfortable because this kind of thing in that opening number is still fucking happening right now to this day.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we're running into, right? Is like
Mhm.
is lack of like people's general lack of accountability, and they don't want to confront those real feelings, and then they exaggerate that to
Mhm.
Oh, I can't believe all these shows and whatever are getting political and like they're so woke, and it's like,
They've
no,
always been that way.
they've
you ass.
always been that way. Yeah. It's like my favorite is always my favorite's always, I don't know when Star Wars got all political, and everybody's like, well, war is literally in the title, so like,
And it was literally the Empire and
Yeah.
the Rebels.
Yeah, wars is in the title. It's in a 2-word title. I would argue it's about 50% at least of Star Wars is the war.
I would say 75% because no one cares about the star.
Nobody.
It's
Do you
like-
even see stars in Star Wars? No.
No.
You see one, and it's a Death Star. It's
like-
it's no moon.
It's like Star Wars is what we're
Yeah.
worried about.
Right. Stars should be little, and then
Yeah.
the war should be bigger.
Yeah, it should. It should.
Anyway,
But on to the other part of the controversy.
yeah, too long of a rant, by the way. Too long of a rant. Sorry, everyone.
No such thing. They know what they're signing up for.
But the other part of it is so the whole controversy of like I'm interested in where you would stand on this too, because as someone who has knowledge and loyalty to both camps of an art like performance, but also like you know instrumentalists, accompanists,
Unions.
musicians, yeah, and unions. Yeah, unions is the third part. But like you've also got the context of what Here Lies Love is as a show, and what the it is not, because I think like the problem that I see is like a lot of people contextualizing it as it's a it's a way for them to cut corners, and the first thing they did was cut musicians, and it's like
No.
no, the show was conceived
This way.
to this way. You have to have respect for that vision. And I've been told now multiple times on the internet, well, then just don't do the show. And it's like, do you hear yourself? Like,
Yeah.
well, first of all, the show's been delayed 10 years because nobody wanted to do the show the way that it is supposed to be done.
Yep.
You know,
Or could.
and or could be done. And yeah, and there's already a huge financial risk because they're cutting out that capacity anyway, you know. um so uh, it just is exhausting.
It is exhausting, and honestly, it has torn me in twain
Sure.
because I've seen the show. I know how
Yeah.
incredibly powerful the moment that they are talking about is as a result of not having any instruments until that moment.
Right.
I am 100% aware of what that does. And I completely understand and respect the creators. I think David
Mhm.
Byrne could have handled it better. Calling the unions gatekeepers was not a good move.
Not a good move. Not a
That's
good
when
move
his
on
old-
David Byrne.
That's when his old British white guy is showing.
Yeah.
But
It's so, but it's also so. I think that reaction is upsetting,
for everybody.
and also it's a little weird because he just did American Utopia, which is almost just all a band. Like it's
Yep.
just all musicians. So it's like on one hand, David Byrne of all people would not be the one cutting out an orchestra, you know. Like David Byrne would be like, fuck musicians. It's like no, he just did American Utopia. You know how much he loved, like he is a musician, you know.
Yeah.
But that reaction was also poor. But it's like you said, it's old white guy. At the end of the day, David Byrne is still primarily
He's
an old white guy.
And they have on Reddit have done a lot of calling the creators lily white, which is true.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah.
We are unfortunately still not in a place in society where Broadway producers would even think about telling this story with Filipino creators, and that makes me very
Right.
sad.
Yeah.
But at least they are using their privilege for good.
Yes.
However,
At least they're casting a lot of Filipinos.
all Filipinos, supposedly.
All Filipinos. Incredible.
Supposedly all Filipinos.
That's my hope.
And I love so many of these people. But I also understand where the musicians are coming from.
Yeah,
And like
absolutely.
I know people who are members of the union and who are having a really hard time with it. And it's like
Yeah.
I understand that too, because like this is something that should have been talked about months ago.
Right.
And like, are the musicians right? Yeah, they are. Technically, this whole show could be played by live musicians in another room and it would sound the same.
Yeah.
It would. So like it has torn me in half and it's exhausting. And I'm so tired.
Yeah. So
I'm still going to go see this show.
Of course. So this is where the intersectionality for it crosses for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is ultimately, yes, I agree with you, and I sympathize as well with like the unions and with the musicians. I think that's important. I think it, I don't think it should be a worry because there have been other shows like this before, like that have had to do like special, what is it called? Like special event or whatever, special contract to do like no orchestra. There have been other shows. This is not the first show that's done this.
I don't think Contact had an orchestra, did it?
No, Contact didn't have an orchestra. So Contact had to be under a special arrangement for that to have no orchestra. But other shows have done this for more limited runs. So this would probably be the first like since Contact, really, like the first like long-standing sitting production. But I think a lot of people within the union, I think, are reacting as if this is going to set a precedent, And I don't think that is what is happening.
I hope not.
But again, because I have the context of the show, a lot of shows are still being made like this season, with, or like, it's still very necessary. It's like Here
With
Lies Love
bigger
is
orchestras.
yeah, exactly. Here Lies Love is an exception. It's not the rule.
Yeah.
And then here's the intersectionality of it, which is ultimately, and maybe maybe there be some contention about this, but I think what we were just talking about, which is like, I have no responsibility for how you react to this, but I think that ultimately, race trumps occupation. So the fact that this is a controversy over a Filipino story, I would say, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Let this show happen the way that it needs to happen, and protest and picket a different show. Because again, and the reason that I bring up, like, this has happened with other shows previously, is like, I don't remember that much controversy about things like this. I don't know why it's coming up now with Here Lies Love.
I know.
So, yeah, so that's my ultimate thing about it. I know there's more nuance and complications to it, and like, you among others are like, I have friends who are like musicians and in the union as well, and I get that, but it's also like, I I want this story more than
Well, and you're right.
yeah, more than
Race
this
does
fight.
trump employment. It always has.
Yeah, it always has.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
make that my point from now on. But also, I mean, like, we are also in a season where we are having the biggest orchestras we have seen since the original premieres.
Yeah,
Like 26 in Sweeney Todd, which is remarkable. And like, it's
that's
a limited run,
incredible.
but still incredible. And it's like, I
Yeah.
am shooting for the biggest orchestras that I can muster in my shows. Like, because I
Yeah.
love live music and I love that part of it. And like, that's not my aesthetic. But do I completely understand why this show did that? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Because it's correct. Because you have to have the context of the show. Again, it's a club setting. You're supposed to be in this electronica dance club, in the karaoke club in the Philippines. Like, it's not a live band. I'm
No.
sorry.
No.
It
And then, yeah.
The musicians are incredible and they're talented, but
And then, yeah.
and it would sound great. It would sound, you're right. I agree with you. It sound great, but that's not the same.
It's not.
And it just wouldn't compare.
No. Well, and it's just, it makes the last moment, which they've even spoiled in some of the articles.
Yeah.
It makes the last moment so incredibly powerful and so incredibly moving.
Yep.
And it just, in a way that you're not ready or expecting.
Yeah.
Because all
Even
of a sudden,
if
this person who hasn't been singing, this person
Right.
who is kind
Has-
of guiding the chaos, all of a sudden comes down and becomes a human being.
Right. He's been rocking out behind a table.
Yeah.
the whole time.
Oh God, it's just, I will say it before and I will say it again. I saw that show 60 some times.
Yeah.
I never got tired of it. Ever.
Yeah. It's
I
great.
wish I could have seen it more.
Mm-hmm. It's a great show. I hope it gets to happen the way that it's intended to. I sympathize with the union. I don't imagine that it's becoming a trend. I don't think Here Lies Love is marking a precedent.
And if
Because
it is,
if it is, then you fight it later, and
I was gonna say, if it is, we'll just have to make sure to write shows that require orchestras.
Yeah. But it's like you said, like, there's all these shows that are nominated this year with the biggest orchestras, and it's like, okay, so it seems like we're okay.
Some Like a Time had a huge orchestra too, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
We loved it. We loved every second of it.
So I feel like you'd be okay with one show doing this. Again, I don't think it's the precedent that people think it is. Because the other thing too, it's hard to do. It's like, not everybody can I think the other part of this argument is that I think it's undercutting the amount of artistry that went into doing what David Byrne did with Here Lies Love, which is that,
Well, and Fatboy Slim too.
and Fatboy Slim, yeah, which is, it is an incredible arrangement, and it is an incredibly like moving flow. It flows so well.
It does.
It 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 fights the performers when it's supposed to. It glides with the performers when it's supposed to, and it's all prearranged. It's like, I don't know how much control they have over like stopping and starting or like whatever, but it's like I feel like once it starts going, it's like this
It's a train.
this plane's going. Yeah, this plane's going until we stop. Which I fucking love. That's also cool about it, um so yeah. I just get very fired up about Fearless Love.
I mean, me too. I have gone on record many times saying it's one of my favorite things that has ever happened.
Oh, yeah.
To me, I am so privileged that I got to see it as many times as I
Yeah.
did. And it fundamentally changed me as an artist and a person. It
Right.
did.
Yeah. So I guess also I will say, like, at the end of the day, I think very similar to our Tony's discussion, which is like, if they end up having to relent and do it with some sort of live accompaniment, and that happens, it's still a fucking great show. It's still
It is.
like there
Please go.
yeah, please go, please support it. It's still going to be like a moving show. I know, like, at least the cast that has been announced that's returning so far is like, it's fucking worth it just for them alone. And I'm sure whoever they get for like Imelda is going to be great, because they batted 1,000 so far. Every Imelda I've seen is incredible.
It's what's her face, Ariel Jacobs.
Oh my god, that's right. Oh, I am dead.
And
I am dead
same,
now.
Same.
I am a
And
ghost.
Our darling. Oh, I just had a stroke.
Oh no.
Oh my god, brain.
Who
Don't
are
do
you
this to
talking
me.
about? Which character?
I am talking about Ninoy's mom.
Oh, Leah Salonga.
It's Leah Salonga. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally saw her face, heard her singing. She was singing to
Yeah,
me
of course.
personally. She was singing that song because I am so familiar with her voice. I can hear her voice singing that song. Although I am hoping that at some point Natalie can return.
Oh yeah, because she'd be great.
But I
know
honestly don't
Leah's.
know if she's in the business anymore because I haven't heard from her in a long time.
But I know Leah is not. It's a limited run for her. It's like
Yeah,
six.
it is.
Like she's in the first 6 weeks or something.
Yeah. And I hope that Maria Castrini can come back at some point, and because she's currently on tour with Hadestown, and
I think JG is in Shucked.
JG actually just left Shucked. Her last performance was yesterday. She's joining again, so she is back in the dance club.
Oh my god, we love it. We love it.
We love it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, please go.
Yeah.
Please support live theater, even if it has been a contentious ride getting there in the last couple of weeks. Please buy tickets. Please go. Please support the show.
And you know what?
Will change you in ways that I cannot even imagine.
Yes, agreed. And you know what? Honestly, to to me at least, the debate about it is progressive in a way. Like, I think it is a worthy discussion. I just fall very hard on one side of it, but I don't see it as an invalid, like a silly, it's not like, I'm trying to think of an example that would be relevant, but like I can't think of anything. But it is a thing worthy of debate, of unions and the value of musicians who are invaluable, and shows that utilize them and take full advantage of them. I fully like support the grounds of this debate. Again, I just fall very hard on one side.
Well, and part of me is just really pissed off at the producers, except LaShawne's.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, never LaShawne's.
No, never LaShawne's. She is perfection personified, and she's a co-producer on Kimberly Akimbo too. So.
Oh shit! There you go. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
But it's like they knew this was coming. They know about these union holds. They know about all of the things that can happen, and it's like there are other ways you could have gone about this, including
Yeah.
just paying the 13 musicians to sit around and be on call. You can do
Right.
that. That's been done
Yeah.
in theater history. You could have
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
that into the budget and it wouldn't have been a big deal at all. Why
Right.
did you wait until now, 2 weeks before opening?
I also, but that's the other thing, Cameron. If you can, maybe you can explain this to me because I don't know this. I don't understand this. I would think that this has already been like my understanding was that we only found out about it like 2 weeks ago. But
Maybe.
like my understanding is that like because I think that would be crazy if like
And that might have been
didn't they
purposeful.
like arrange all these contracts and like
You'd think. 'Cause,
I feel like
that's-
this was done months ago, you
I was
know,
gonna say,
like
fire your general manager.
well, yeah, well, what I'm saying is like I feel like behind the scenes, this has already been figured out. They weren't going to use musicians. They already had it out with the union and like have come up with the arrangement, and we just don't know it. We're just not privy to it. And then we found out about it because Here Lies Love got announced, and it wasn't announced with an orchestra, and everybody was like, "Why doesn't it have an orchestra?" And then we found out, oh, they're not using one. And then so now the
Or-
general public has come up.
Or
Or did they
leaked.
really? Yeah, or leaked. But did they?
No, but I mean like
I can't
purposefully leaked.
sure purposefully, yeah, sure, but I mean like there's no way that they didn't do this already before weeks
I-
before opening.
I would hope
Right?
not. I would hope not.
Oh my god, we forgot to hire a band. Like you know what I
Oh my
mean?
God.
Like, you know,
We should have gotten these permissions months ago.
it's yeah, it's like a wedding, you know, like yeah, somebody didn't get invited to the wedding, but the
And now they're
husband
being- now they're
yeah,
being
but
pissy.
right, and now they're being pissy, but the bride and groom like made their peace about it
But like
months ago.
I think to even book the theater, they would have had
That's what I
to-
mean. That's what I
'cause,
mean.
like,
It's
because
yeah,
like these are all well-known union rules.
Right.
Is that, you know, it's by audience size. That's the required number of musicians is the audience size.
Yep.
So
that's
like
what I mean. When the show got booked and the theater said, "All right, we can yeah, finally 10 years later. Yeah, let's do the show here. We'll gut it so it can be the club scene, you know, that's going to be reduced capacity, but that's fine. We'll take on the difference. We're confident. Let's do it." And then arrange everything and then at that point that's when they're like, "Yeah, there's going to be no band." Oh. You know, like that's where we have that discussion.
mhm.
I can't imagine it was just brought up 2 weeks ago, and that's why
can't
we all
imagine
found out about
either.
it.
But who knows?
It's insane behavior.
It is. But stranger things have happened. I mean, you know,
Yeah, and also
The
because
director
of
did ask
because
us
of
to
Gatton
stop.
Matarazzo, stranger things have happened.
It's true.
Hey,
It's true. And the director did ask
Hey-o.
us to stop the air traffic over the Delacorte. So, you know, anything is possible.
Sure, sure. I feel like the man who asks me to stop air traffic over the Delacorte would head this off at the pass.
That's true. That's true. You're right.
You know,
I was just, yeah.
I just love that. I will never forget that.
Me either.
It's one of my like I it's one of my like imagining a celebrity at their lowest point. Like that's how I will imagine him at his lowest point is him haphazardly walking out and be like, "Can you tell these helicopters?" It's like, "What?
No.
Tell them what?" And also, how?
I mean, I think it would be a 10-year legal process, but you could probably make over the Delacorte a no-fly zone, but only the Delacorte. Like there would still,
Right.
you'd still be able to hear and see
You have
everything
surrounding
that's
air
happening.
traffic. You have
Yeah.
surrounding air traffic that won't go over the Delacorte. That's
Because
weird.
it's the largest city of the United States.
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Also, that was the only time I ever heard helicopters.
Yeah.
In my 3 years of going up to the park.
Well, it was just,
like-
it was because all of a sudden we were all made aware, and I
Right.
heard them more after that, but it was like I didn't notice before. It's like you can
Yeah.
hear the taxis honking from 86th Street. Come on.
Come on. Calm down.
Central Park
Anyway.
West. It's a busy avenue.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that's my that's that. This has been your Tony moment from
This has been
Omnibilateral
your Tony
Panic.
moment. We are super excited.
Yeah.
Please support your theaters both nationally and locally wherever you can. Please make art. We want to see
Make
it.
art. Make art. And if you can't, donate. And if you can't donate because you don't, funds are strapped, just appreciate it. Just appreciate art.
Just
Just appreciate it.
partake in conversations like this because they're really important.
Please.
I'm not going to say politely, but in a way that does not insult other people's intelligence.
Right. Yeah. Be polite, be respectful, even
Be
if you do have
courteous.
strong opinions. But and also like we did today in the Tonys part of this conversation, also just make wild conjectures about things.
And also
just have fun.
Also, as we did, be happy for everybody because somebody's dreams are coming true this weekend. That's no matter what, somebody's dreams are coming true, and I am so stoked about that.
Yeah. Oh, it's like you said, someone's going to win, and that's going to be awesome.
It is.
Someone has to win, so that's great.
I'm so stoked that someone's going to win. Hopefully someday it'll be us. I hope someday that I am up against all of my dearest friends because I cannot imagine a better May spent than doing Tony season with all of my dearest friends.
Oh, that would be
the
fucking cool.
Category.
That would be so cool,
right? Going to all the dinners and the events and celebrating.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome. Even if I lost everything, don't care.
Hell yeah. No, yeah, you get to do all the Tony stuff. That's cool. Yeah, I would do it. Please put me in a show, Cameron.
Okay. Can do.
Thank you.
Or you know what? Let's just write a bunch of stuff, and then we'll have one of my shows, and one of our shows, and then one of your shows,
great.
And
okay,
one
great.
of Tessa's shows, all in the same season.
Yes, that's what I want. Yeah, because... maybe let's get two. We need 2 more people on board. Let's try and make friends. Let's try and have a devised friendship with 2 more people because so that we can.
Molly, we have Kathleen.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Actually, just we can use our guests. Actually,
Kathleen gonna direct all our shows.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Molly's got to write at least one because I'm saying that for the nominations, we end up with the top 5. So I would like us to be I would like to shut out the category.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it, baby. You heard it here first. Coming 2027.
Yep, here we go. I have been David Armstrong, and I would like to tell you that the Tonys is short for Anthony's.
It is. Antoinette, actually.
No.
It makes
not anymore, baby.
It makes me giggle endlessly that Antoinette went by Tony.
I love it.
Yeah. And Tony with a Y.
Oh, incredible. Eliza with a Z, Tony with a Y. We could do a whole series.
We could. I've been Cameron Faring, and I just apparently observed now at this moment that the switching of the vowels and the consonants in names used to be a lot more common.
Oh, because of... No, it's not now because of the names you had to read.
Well, I mean, I have a student named Abigail, and I abbreviated Abby the traditional way, and she was like, "No, it's ABI," and I was like, "Fascinating."
Oh.
Whereas my dad was Gerald, but went by Jerry with a J, even though Gerald was with a G. And Antoinette Perry went by Tony with a Y, even though Antoinette is obviously an I.
Right. And if I were to shorten Antoinette, it would also be Antoine or Nettie.
Or Auntie.
Auntie would be cool too.
Or Nettie.
Nettie is the best one.
Yeah, I think
a Nettie pot. Is that named after her too?
Oh my god, you want a Nettie?
That's for the theater. You can win a Nettie pot.
I mean, I'd take it.
The golden Nettie pot goes to
golden Nettie pot.
Kimberly Akimbo.
Thank God. Anyway, this has been lovely, pal.
I loved it. I loved it.
We love you all. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.